If you hear any of these phrases or have any of these situations come up, even if you just get a bad feeling in the pit of your stomach, you have every right to say no to working with this potential client. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important topic for social media managers, and that is 5 red flags to watch for when you are discussing with potential clients on either their introduction call, during the proposal phase, wherever you are in this journey. If you start to see these 5 red flags, this could be a sign for you that they might not be the best clients to work with. So this is more about just identifying these red flags, but also about setting better boundaries for you and your business. If you have seen any of our other content or you are a part of our Rising Social Media Managers membership, you know how much we talk about boundaries and how important they are for the success of your business. So please look out for these red flags when you are working with potential clients. Don't be afraid to say no. Ultimately, you get to decide who you work with and who you want to work with. So let's get into these 5 red flags and make sure to watch till the end for some extra tips and some more resources for you. Okay, so the first red flag we are going to be talking about today is boundary pushing. If this potential client is already starting to push your boundaries and you've only just started talking to them, this might be an opportunity to step back and also an opportunity to reinforce your boundaries. So this could look like this potential client is reaching out to you at every hour of the day and expecting a response. They are asking for work that is outside of your scope of services that you've presented to them. They're already trying to push back on your pricing without even getting your proposal, or they're trying to push on your pricing after seeing your proposal and seeing your pricing. So if they start to push these boundaries, ask for too much, and they're already expecting you to be available 24/7, this is typically a big ding, ding, ding red flag when they are communicating with you at the very beginning, in that introduction call, by email, by text, by phone, etc. If you start to see this behavior, start reinforcing your boundaries and letting them know what they can expect from you, but also stay strong and stay true to your business so that you can make sure that you aren't doing too much for this potential client. If you've reinforced your boundaries and they're still trying to push them, it's a pretty clear sign that this probably isn't the best client for you to be working with. So it's best if you gracefully decline working together or guide them elsewhere for someone who can help them with all of the things that they are asking for. Next, let's talk about frequent rescheduling. So if you've had the initial call in your calendar and this potential client keeps pushing back the time, changing the dates, not showing up to the meeting, and maybe they don't have reason for it, this is another pretty big red flag. Things happen, emergencies come up, maybe they've double booked themselves. It happens. But if you're already noticing a pattern of them not showing up or constantly rescheduling, that shows a lot for the reliability of this potential client and that they could be hard to get a hold of in the future. And if you do things like monthly strategy calls that we suggest, they might not be available for you to do those calls because they aren't able to manage their calendar effectively. So watch out for this. Again, you can try and reinforce your boundaries here to make sure that they come. Typically, if I've had someone cancel or not show up for 2 meetings, I know there is probably not going to work, and I'm not going to push to continue to schedule that call. Our third red flag is high social media manager turnover. If you are in your introduction call talking with this potential client And they start to tell you stories of the 4 social media managers that they've already worked with this year that didn't work out. That is typically a red flag. They could be just in this, but I would recommend doing a little bit more digging here. Ask them why they weren't satisfied with their previous social media managers. Ask them what they're looking for in a social media manager, because this could mean that they have very unrealistic expectations that need to be managed. Maybe they're expecting to go viral on every single post, or they're expecting you to buy followers or do something that's not ethical. Really come in and try and figure out why they've worked with so many. It could also be a red flag to show that this client really just can't be pleased. They're the kind of person who nothing is ever good enough. And unless you want a constant uphill battle and someone who's likely going to push your other boundaries, this is a big red flag to watch for. I made this mistake once, and really this client just didn't know what they wanted. They would ask for something, we would deliver it, and then they would ask us why we thought that was a good idea, even though it was something that they were asking for. So it really was just a point of us having to manage their expectations, but it ended up taking way too much of our valuable time for what it was worth to work with this client. So watch when they start to say that they've worked with a lot of people and try and uncover why. If it's someone who can never be pleased, someone with extremely unrealistic expectations, it might be best for you to move on. In a lot of cases, though, if you hear this, understanding what they're looking for from the very beginning can help you know if you're right to work with them and what they're actually looking for. Maybe it's not even social media management. So try and understand their expectations from the beginning. Number 4 is if they are talking badly about previous service providers. So if they have a very negative tone and negative things to say about other social media managers, freelancers, contractors that they've worked with, this kind of forecasts what they will say about you. You might be the best social media manager in the world, but they might have also worked with the best and they're still talking bad. Some people just always have something bad to say, and that's who they are. But if this is something that you're concerned about, it's something to watch for. You want to work with someone who's open-minded and who sees you as the expert. So if you start to see that they think no other service provider is good enough, any other service they ever had was not good enough, and they're really talking ill about the people that they work with, this can be a pretty clear red flag to watch for. Lastly, let's talk about vague and confusing requirements and or goals. So if they're coming to you and they really don't know what they want, they don't know what they need, they aren't really sure why they're in this meeting with you, that is a very clear red flag. This is also a really big opportunity for you to be that expert and to help guide them. Maybe they're looking for more sales, but they don't have anything set up in the background. Social media might not be the first step for them. So come in and help understand where they are currently in their business, what they need, and what their very specific goals are. Write down these specific goals, talk to them about how you think they can achieve that. And if you proceed forward and start working with them, have it all in writing. Have it in writing in your contract, in your onboarding materials, exactly what you're working towards and exactly what is within your scope of work. Clients who don't know what they want, are kind of unsure of where to go from here, are more likely to change up their scope of work and try and update your services, which can cause a lot of confusion and billing changes and just a lot of time from you down the road. So in the very beginning, really understand what they're looking for and help them manage those expectations to promote a healthy working relationship with them. If they're still confused and they don't know what they want, and no matter how much advice you give them or direction, they're still in that place, then that's another clear red flag that they might not be the best client to work with. So now what? I know this can feel a little bit negative because we're talking about these big, bad red flags to watch for. You likely aren't going to encounter these in every single meeting, but these are just some things to watch for from my experience of some clients that I took on when I felt like I had to, that ended up not being a right fit for me and my agency. You are the business owner or you work within this business and you get to decide who you work with. You want to have an enjoyable experience and you want to love working with your clients. So make sure that you select them carefully. Trust me, I understand how stressful it can be if you feel like you don't have enough clients or you're trying to find your first client and you would take anyone. Yes, that's great. And maybe you're going to get that first month of income, but down the line, you're going to spend so much time and probably lose valuable money managing these clients who had these red flags for you than if you had just waited a little bit longer and found someone who's aligned with you and your business. So I know what you're going through right now, but please stay strong on your boundaries. Kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, your boundaries are so incredibly important. So stay strong, understand who you want to work with, and don't be afraid to say no. This is a business transaction. It's likely not personal. So if you don't feel like you can work with them right now, just kindly decline. You don't even have to send them the proposal, or you can let them know you're busy right now. Go on this wait list, and maybe if someone who joins your team would be a better fit for them, you can start that conversation later on, or you can help them if you would like to find someone who's a better fit. But don't feel obligated to work with someone just because you've had that introduction call or just because you've sent in your proposal. Spotting these red flags isn't just about avoiding trouble, it's about empowering yourself and your boundaries so that your business can be successful. So please watch for these, stay strong, and remember that choosing the right clients is as important as the services that you provide because they will help shape your business as you continue to grow and be successful. So please stay tuned. I would love to give you some more advice for how to respond to some of these clients and what to do. So let's open up the conversation down below. Let me know if you have any questions and let me know if there's any other green flags that you love to watch for. I'd love to hear what you think. And as always, please join, like, subscribe, and I'd love to help you grow your social media management business. You and me, I say